Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop, howdy! Today we have Norway Maple. This comes to us from our friend Dave at Calmwood Creations. I was going to try and use it as is, but it's too big to fit on the lathe. I was going to have to cut the corners off. It's a little over 20 inches, corner to corner, and my lathe is an 18-inch. So what I did is I drew a circle. I don't know if you can see it there, it's kind of a light line drawing. 14 inches is the best we can get out of this piece. So I'm going to take this over to the bandsaw. I'm going to cut out that 14-inch circle, mount it up on a woodworm screw on my lathe, and we'll get to turning us a bowl, I guess. Stand by. We're going to be turning at 480 RPM, 5/8 inch standard grind bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. Ow. Mask, face shield, and glove on. Well, I'm going to go ahead and flatten off the bottom. I think that's where a lot of our vibration's coming from. I think we're going to use a recess on this one, and we're going to use my larger jaws, so that calls for about a 4-inch recess. So I've got my divider set to 2 inches, and that'll give us a 4-inch recess. Oh, a little yellow showing up in there. Ooh. I didn't see that before. I need to raise my tool rest a little bit so I can use my dovetail tool to create the dovetail for the recess. You can also use it as a scraper like this. And I've been asked about this tool before. It's a Techna tool. That's who makes my chuck. And when I first got into wood turning and bought my first chuck, I bought this because I thought I needed it. You don't need one, but as long as I have it and I paid money for it, I'm going to use it. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I'm about 3/16 deep. I could go as much as a 1/4 inch deep. This is plenty deep for a piece this size, I think. Now I want to move back over here to this corner and reduce it. It's way too big of a bottom, and try and figure out some sort of a profile we can put on here. And I seldom use recesses, and I didn't think of this. I should have finished my shaping, I guess, and then made the recess, because now if I drive my live center in there, I'm going to mar that inside. So I'm just going to take this little block of wood I found, cut off from something else, and just use that to apply pressure and support for this big piece of wood. See how that spins up. Yeah, that's okay. And I was able to increase the speed to 550, so that'll help a little bit. Let me get my mask and face shield back on, and we're sticking with the 5/8 inch bowl gouge. That's getting to be a more appropriate size. Still don't have a good profile idea in mind here. See, to be honest, I'd like to do an OG shape, and I've done them before, but when I do them, it's on accident. I don't know how to lay them out. I've seen guys do it. They make a mark here and they make a mark here and then they join them somehow. My brain doesn't work like that. So I usually just sort of fake it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's a nice shape, a pleasing shape, and I really like it. I should learn how to do it sometime. So I don't know if that's what I'm going to do or what. We'll just find out as we go, I guess. Maybe a little bit smaller here, but not a lot smaller. It's not done. I'm just looking at it. Boy, look at all that yellow. How cool is that? Well, it is actually, it's getting there. What do you know? Let's see if we can curve this a little better. It's not perfect, but it's the right idea. Well, that's actually pretty good. I learned a trick watching somebody else. When you're trying to do something like this and you can't quite get there, you call it modified. So this is a modified OG. That makes it sound like you did it on purpose. Okay, well, it's what I have and it'll work. So now what? So now I guess we got a pretty decent. It needs sanding, no doubt about it, but pretty decent finish off the chisel there. I don't really see anything else I could do to it. I could put grooves in it or something, but I'm not gonna do that. So I guess that means time for sanding. I'm going to be sanding with my 2-inch disc sander. I'm going to start at 80 grit. Even though it's a pretty decent finish, there is some punky wood in here. And I also want to try and round this over a little bit, just kind of finesse it. So I'll be sanding in reverse at 250 RPM. And I'll show you that as soon as I get my mask on. Well, wow, what a difference from my pieces I normally turn. Bumpity, bumpity, bumpity. This is almost fun. So I'll sand up through 400 and I'll bring you back when it's time to put some sanding sealer on here, and then we'll use shellac as a final finish. See you in a bit. Look at that grain before I even put anything on it. Yellow, all that spalting, so beautiful. And it's so smooth. It's sanded up real nice. Oh wow, that's just pretty, isn't it? Beautiful. So only because there's a little bit of punkiness in here, I'll put 2 coats of this on. Otherwise it really just needs 1. So 2 coats of sanding sealer, and then 2 coats of shellac, likely. And I'll put that shellac on exactly like I'm putting this on. No difference whatsoever. Looks the same, so I won't show it. And I'll bring you back here in a little bit when it's time to start working on the inside, and I'm looking forward to that. Now that I see all this beautiful spalting. I knew it had some. I didn't know it had so much. One of those secret rewards we get. See you in a bit. I hadn't planned to, but I put the Axe abrasive sanding paste on, and then the Axe polishing paste after that, and the piece feels really nice. Silky smooth. Okay, I have to change out my chucks. I gotta switch to my larger jaws. So I will get this turned around. Look at that, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful colors. I love that yellow. I just wasn't expecting that at all. I'll get this piece turned around and mounted up in the recess, and I'll be right back. A couple of things about this. On this side of the blank, or the ball blank, we've got about 3/4 of an inch from the tool rest. On this side over here, we have about 1/8 of an inch. So about a 5/8 inch difference. A couple of cracks. This crack right here comes down about 1 inch. On the outside it comes down about 2.5 inches, maybe 3. And this one here also comes over a good inch. And then there's another one over this way, right here. So I don't want to make really thin walls. Usually I do like to when I'm not dealing with bark and voids and whatnot. I like to make a thin wall piece just because it's something unusual I get to do so seldom. But in this case, I think we're probably gonna shoot for a 1/2 inch thick wall right now. Might make it thinner as we go, but I want this to be a utility piece. I want it to be used every day, maybe a fruit bowl or whatever, I don't know. Whatever somebody wants to use it for. So I don't want to make it a showpiece that just sits on a shelf and only needs to be 1/8 of an inch thick or less. We're going to be turning at 610 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. I'm gonna go sharpen up. I know what you're thinking. Make it a chip and dip bowl, Phil. Put the dip part right here in the middle and leave that middle in there. Boy, this is just pretty wood. You want me to make a chip and dip bowl? Nah. Really? No, don't be silly. I know you're teasing me. Okay, I heard you. You want a chip and dip bowl, sheesh. That's not something I ever considered in my whole life. I don't know anything about them. So I went in the house and I looked for a dish for the middle so that I could fit it in there. And I found this little glass dish. And that might be about the right size. I also found this stainless steel, but it's about as deep as the whole bowl is. so that won't work. But if I do this, I can leave enough meat around here so that I did call my daughter. I don't have anybody to consult here at the house, so I called my daughter and described it to her and told her if I went with something like this, she'd probably have to fill it twice. She said, "That's cool. As long as you made it, Dad, I'll use it." So maybe this will be a Christmas present for her. I don't know. Anyway, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then if she finds something she likes better, maybe stainless steel that won't get broken by little tiny kids, I can always make this bigger, this center part. That's what I'm thinking. But I still have work to do out here. We still have probably 2 inches deep to go, or 1.5 inches anyway, in this area. Without taking too much away from here. I can take some, of course, but you're getting your way. Boy, you guys are persistent. Sheesh. My fingers won't reach down that far, so I want to check my wall thickness here. Yeah, about 3/8 of an inch. I thought it was thicker than that, but that's good. Yeah, that's good. And less than an inch to go. I'm going to have to get rid of this tailstock here pretty soon because I can't do much. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of this. Sorry, I just don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't believe I let you talk me into this. Yeah, I can come out here further. I'm gonna go sharpen up again. I'm just guessing because I don't know how big I might eventually make this if she finds something else. So it takes a little longer, sorry. Maybe I'll just edit out a lot of this messing around stuff. Okay, that's good. I gotta remember that recess in the bottom. So that's about as deep as I can possibly go. So I guess I don't have much choice but to start working on this center here. Bigger than that. I know I'm not deep enough, I just want to know the diameter. Probably got to be deeper. Yeah, another ½ an inch or so. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. This is going to be a bear to sand, isn't it? Gee. But, time for sanding. Well, I've been messing around here trying to figure out how to sand this. I know that I can sand like from here up, and I can sand inside here, and I can sand from here down about halfway, but I can't get that bottom. That's only about 1.25 inch radius, and this is 2 inches. I can force it in there, but it's not going to touch the bottom. So that means hand sanding. So I have these strips of sandpaper in various grits, and I'll just hold it in there and sand it like that while it spins. And it's just going to be a pain, and this is the last time I'm letting you guys talk me into anything like this. I'll show you how this is going to work as soon as I get my mask on. The lathe is spinning in reverse at 250. And I'll do the same thing while it's spinning forward. Yeah, it's awkward. It won't be too hard, but it's just going to take a lot of time. So I'll see you back here in a bit when it's time to put some sanding sealer on. Well, it was not easy, but I got it done, and I'm pretty dang satisfied with it. I just can't believe how beautiful this grain is. Really nice. And pretty colors. I'm just amazed at that yellow. I wasn't expecting yellow. I started at 80 grit and sanded up through 400 just as I did the outside. I'll be putting on, looks like 2 coats of this sanding sealer and then 2 coats of shellac like I did on the outside. And then we'll put the axe abrasive paste and polishing paste on it as well. And those are food safe. I'll be back in a bit and we'll take a look at it. I've already applied the axe abrasive paste and now I'm applying the axe polishing paste. The idea here is just keep changing to a clean spot on the paper towel until no more comes off on it. So that's what I'm doing. I'll just finish this up. I'll be back in a minute. Well, here it is. One Norway maple chip and dip bowl in the books. Never in my life did I ever think I'd make anything like this. But you demanded it, didn't you? I heard you. I think it's beautiful. It finished up at 13.5 by 3.5. And the center portion there is 4 inches across and about 2.5 inches deep. It can go deeper and it can go wider and it can go shorter. It can't go any taller, of course. But I don't think it's going to be necessary really. However, if she wants me to, I will. And that's the bonus of having a recess instead of a tenon. Now I have not signed it. I'm trying to decide, do I want to sign it with her name and, you know, from Dad, or I don't know. So I haven't decided. I'll sign it. But it's a beautiful piece of wood, and okay, I like it. It's certainly not what I typically do, but it's pretty cool. Something useful. Also not something I typically do. Thank you to Dave from Calmwood Creations for sending this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please, I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, you might consider becoming one. I put out regular videos about 1 a week and I'd like to keep in touch. An easy way to subscribe is just click my picture you see there near the end of the video. Your comments are always welcome and I read all of them. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.